happening? What's good, y'all? What's up? Uh, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Now, you know how we had that whole Malik Yoba situation, right? Where Malik Yoba started that show, New York Undercover, and he said that he likes transgender women. He likes all women, including transgender women. So the question is, should transgender women be considered men? Should they be considered men or women? For real. Like, we have to have this conversation, man. All the transgender people, they said they want to engage in dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. Here's the dialogue. And if so, why should we consider men who dress like women to be women instead of men? Why? How does that benefit society? Does this benefit society for real? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Should men who dress like women and pretend to be women, men who believe that they're women, should that be considered a mental illness? Would it be a mental illness if somebody believed that they were a different race? Would it be a mental illness if somebody believed that they was a different species? Could it be possible that you could be born as a different species? Like, what if you were born and you believed that you were a dog? So you acted like a dog, you barked like a dog, you fucking, you know, try to scratch yourself with your foot like a dog. You hump everything like a dog. As a matter of fact, you fuck other dogs. You dig? You go humping everybody's leg and shit. You humping somebody's leg. You're like, well, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, see? Woof woof. I'm a dog. For real. I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, if you can be born as a different gender, why not be born as a different race? Why not be born as a different species? Why not? Why not? If we're going to play that game, let's play it all the way. Let's play it all the way. For real, for real. You know? So, you know, I don't see how that works for that and not everything else. I just don't. I don't see how it works. Can anybody explain to me how it works? Another thing is too, if you believe that you were born in the wrong body, does that indicate reincarnation? Is that your way of saying that you believe in reincarnation? Hmm? Is this a spiritual belief? Does this come from a religion? Does it say that this happens in any spiritual doctrine, in any Bible? Does it say this in the Torah? Does it say this in the Quran? Where the fuck did they get this shit from? Like, is there some homosexual spiritual system out there? And to where, hey, well, this is like the guideline of this is why we're born this way. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck made this shit up? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did it come from? Like, I really want to know. I want to know. I like to ask questions. I like to ask questions, man. We have to ask questions. That's the basis of intelligence. You know, we ask questions. We're presented with a problem or an issue or circumstance or whatever or a condition, and then we ask questions on how that came to be. And we try to figure out how to solve it or how to gain some resolution to it or closure to it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to ask questions no more. We can move on to the next. But we still stuck on how the fuck is you born thinking you a different gender? And why do we, other people, why does the outside world have to look at you the way you falsify yourself to be? Which is what you're doing. You're falsifying your identity. You know, you go out there and you put on pumps, you put on a dress, put on makeup, you know, you do all this shit, you put on shit, you're taking estrogen pills, you dig, shaving off all the hair in your body, which is bound to grow back. You feel me? You're putting on boob implants or getting boob, whatever. You're trying to put boobs on you. You feel me? You're getting butt injections. You feel me? Not only that, you're acting feminine. You're not feminine. You're acting feminine. You're overly feminine as a male. How are you more feminine than a female as a male? These are real questions I like to ask, man. And how the fuck are you not gay? How are you not gay? I think this nigga Malik said he ain't gay. He like transgender women, but he ain't gay. What the fuck is that? Hold on. Let me find that. Let me find it. He a lying ass nigga if he say that shit. Everybody know. Oh, wait.
A lot has been
Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Uh-oh. I don't know what this video is, but I really want to see it because let me show you what I'm looking at right now. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay.
people teasing him about being trans attractive. You said this was another heartbreaking example of homophobia, transphobia, hatred, and hypocrisy. We as black folks, black men in particular, have to name, face, and call out and do work on the heel. A lot more attention seems to have been paid to your statement that you were trans attractive.
You know what? Back again to being good human. Thank you. Because the whole purpose of the post was the fact that I will be at the Trans Visibility March on Washington on September 27th and 28th, where I am doing a workshop called Love and Trauma, the Trans Experience. And so you guys know me for a long time. You know, my roots in the community, my roots with young people. I've been doing that work since I was 16. So that's global mission work that I've done my whole life that I take very seriously. And I've always known trans people. You know, grown up with kids in New York that became homeless and, you know, drug addicted, gay or trans kids because parents have no love for that or no understanding of it, kick them out the house. And so this has been an issue for me that I've been passionate about for a really long time. I just haven't been public about it. Like, I'm not public about every aspect of my life, but you know, those who are my friends, who some are now famous folks as well. You get to watch them on shows like Code or Transparent or the new Hustle movie, Hustler movie. So I think the world has finally moved to a place where I felt that when I see young black men, I think it's okay to bully anybody about anything. I take exception to that because when young people are doing it and they go on.
Let me stop right there. Okay? Hold on. Let me stop right there. Just for a second. I'm going to come back to my screen. He's telling the half truth right here. But under the context of how he's explaining this, look, black people are not homophobic people. Collectively, we don't give a fuck about your sexual preference. Because, shit, 96%, approximately 96% of the population does not engage in homosexuality. All right? That is an extremely rare thing. And it's also extremely rarer to find black people who are going around looking for transsexual people to beat up and call names. And that's all homophobia is to these people. These people don't look at homophobia like black people look at white supremacy, but they try to treat it as if it's the same. See, look, black people have been getting lynched. Black people went through slavery. We went through Jim Crow. We went through redlining. We're still going through it now. We're going through gentrification right now. Still. Police brutality. We're still being segregated as you have white suburban neighborhoods and then you have the low-income black neighborhoods. The racial disparity, the racial wealth disparity. We have 2.6% of all the wealth in this nation, while white people own 90% of all the wealth in this nation. So my question to people who believe that we're really homophobic, I'm like, okay, well, what resources do we have to enforce our concepts of homophobia? What resources do we have to do to black, not black people, to do to the LGBT community that the white folks have done to us? What resources do we have? What are we using? What programs are we creating to enforce our homophobia? There's absolutely none. There's absolutely zero. All right? Just because there's a few bad black people walking around and they're and they do what they do. They call in transgender people names, or they get in fights with these people. That does not represent the entirety of the black population. Okay? So I don't like how that narrative is being put on us to be homophobic. I don't like that narrative at all. At all. All right? At all. And if you really want to go to who's homophobic, white people are really the ones who are super homophobic. They're the only ones who pass laws or who don't pass laws in order to control other communities. So if you want to, get mad at some people for being homophobic, get mad at your senators, your governors, get mad at your presidents, get mad at these people. These people are the ones who control all the laws, which control your lives. Black people don't have nothing to do with that shit. All right? So I don't like that narrative that Malik is pushing. From my understanding, from what I've heard about Malik, I never met him personally. From what I heard, though, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. All right? But him being a nice guy is not going to I'm not gonna give him no pass just because he's a nice guy, because he's peddling a very dangerous narrative about black people. This is a very dangerous narrative about that's being pushed on black people, and if black people do not shut this shit down and check them at the door for this, then they will be pushing laws to incriminate us for being homophobic, especially after they pass that Equality Act, which is going to make which is going to make sexual preference a protected class. Now, we know when they pass laws like that, those laws are not going to benefit black society. We have already had laws that were supposed to, be used to benefit us, and they're just not being enforced. Hence, that's why Byron Allen is taking Comcast to the Supreme Court for $20 billion, right? Based off of, Comcast not allocating any money to black-owned media, which is breaking the first law of the Reconstruction era, which was supposed to include black people economically. There was white people could not do business with us or not do contracting with us based off of us just being black. They understood that then, so they made that law so that we can have economic inclusion if we were going to be considered to be U.S. citizens after slavery. For us to even have to take Comcast to the Supreme Court, and then Donald Trump is teaming up with the DOJ, and DOJ is Donald Trump, along with the DOJ, is teaming up with Comcast to gut a law that was made after slavery in order to help us get economic inclusion, because they knew that there are a lot of white supremacists out there that had the wealth that made a lot of money off of us, and they restricted the wealth from us. They knew that they were going to keep us from being economically prosperous. So this is what we're dealing with right now, okay? It's very, very, very important that we maintain the narrative, all right? We maintain the proper narrative. We don't allow these people to push a narrative that can eventually incriminate us years down the line, all right? So we're going to shut this shit down at the door, all right? This is why we're being openly, conversational about it, all right? This is why we're opening the lines of dialogue so that we can get down to the bottom of this. All right, we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm tired of hearing transsexual people get mad at black folks for something that we have, honestly, nothing to do with. You feel me? And I always ask transgender people, outside of name calling and getting in a couple of fights, how do black people oppress you? And I also ask, well, why do you fight hard for LGBT rights, but you don't fight hard against white supremacy? White supremacy is the immediate and imminent threat. Why not focus that energy on white supremacy first? Build your economy up as a people, and then focus on the bad apples that are in our community afterwards. That just makes sense to me. It makes more sense. If you want justice, fight white supremacy. As a matter of fact, the LGBT community practices racism, anti-black racism, as well as, racism against other groups too. But, I'm speaking on Americans. I'm speaking on black Americans right now. The LGBT community is racist towards black Americans. And you got to be very honest about that. And to deny that is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the LGBT community itself hijacked a movement in which we were using so that we can get equality in the United States. This is after slavery. This is after Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? This is due to the domestic terrorism that we are still facing to this day. You know what I'm saying? And because of this movement, we lost, you know, some really, really inspirational, amazing people. Malcolm X to be one of them, Martin Luther King to be another. You feel me? As well as many other people. As well as many other people. And there have been many black Americans that have stood up for justice and, you know, and just, you know, everybody else basically piggybacks off of their movement and hijacks their movement or our movement for their own political agenda. And I have a huge problem with that, man. Because it's like you're the LGBT community fighting for equality. Why do you feel that you deserve equality more than black people in America or before black people in America? If they haven't even received reparations for slavery, why the hell do you think that you should be given benefits or you should be taken care of before them? What gives you, like, like, what is it about you that's different than black people? Or what is it about you that's better than black people? For you to think that you should get what you want before black people get what they need. You know, these are real questions I like to ask, but nobody likes to answer. They like to sit there and act like, you know, these questions don't exist. But these questions do exist. I'm not the only one to ask these questions. All right. I'm one of many black people who ask these questions to the LGBT community, and all they like to do is dance around it, like Dance Revolution. They always like to dance around the subject and bring straw man arguments and never address the situation at hand. All right. So I wanted to say that before this nigga go on and on and on and talk about homophobia in the black community, because we know there ain't no fucking homophobia in the black community. All right. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Outside of name calling and getting a couple fights, what the fuck is homophobia? Really? Really? And look, homophobia is fear. A fear. Like arachnophobia is a fear of spiders. Black people don't fear gay people. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If we fear something, we're not going to beat up something we fear. All right? It doesn't make any sense. Okay? This is an attempt to make homophobia synonymous with racism. This is all that is. And it's not even close. It's not even fucking close. Black people have no reason to be racist towards anybody else. If anything, we are defending ourselves against racism, against white supremacy. All right? And also dealing with racism. Racism is systematic. It's not just name calling. Racism is, like I said before, slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, gentrification, police brutality, segregation. All of these things is a part of systemic racism, meaning the government is in on it, and they create programs with resources that are funded with money in order to bring those into fruition, in order to enforce those racist ideologies. All right. Now let's continue with Malik Yoba's bullshit. Even though he's a nice guy.
Unchecked by us older folks, then that is why we have the world we live in now, where people will stand around and watch someone get their ass beat and they'll videotape it as opposed to helping. And that's the culture we live in. We live in a clickbait culture, a culture that wants to sensationalize people's pain and people's suffering. And you got other folks who want to take advantage of that. So you have someone like myself who's loved and respected globally in all communities, but particularly the black community where I'm from, who's been doing this work. And, you know, folks will take that moment to say, you know, let's throw some dirt on this man's name. There are people who are being killed and hurt that sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. I'm not cool with that. There are men, black men, Latino men, white men. There are athletes and rappers and politicians that love trans women. that sleep with trans women and do it on the low. And because of the shame and the fear and all of those things. And so, you know, this.
Hold on, Malik. Hold on. You're telling a half truth. You're telling another half truth, bro. Look, let me come back. Oh, I wasn't even sharing my screen. My bad. But y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that? Talking about there's a lot of people that do it on the low. Yeah, there's a lot of motherfuckers who do it while they're married with children. Okay? That's why they do it on the low, because they don't want their wives to figure out. They don't want their children to figure it out. That's why they're embarrassed. There's a lot of motherfuckers who participate in that shit that be having wife and kids, having whole families, and they tear those families apart once that shit comes out. I mean, you're not even supposed to be cheating with the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? When you have a family, let alone you're doing it with the same sex. I mean, it's very, very hurtful. I mean, even if you just had a girlfriend as a man and you cheat on your girlfriend or your wife with another man, imagine how that must make your wife feel. Imagine how much that will hurt your wife. This is somebody you're supposed to love until death. This is somebody that you're supposed to ride with. This is your partner in crime. This is your woman, my dude. This is the black woman. This is the bear of life. And then you're going to step out on that one with a dude. And for what? For what? How do black families benefit from these homosexual acts? How do black families benefit from homosexuality, period? How do they benefit? You can't sit there and say, well, there's a lot of people that do it on the low and then ignore the fact that, yeah, they do it on the low because they got families. They got families. If that's how they are, why don't they stand on who they are before they get involved with wife and children? All right? Because you don't engage in homosexuality to build no families. Let's keep it real. There's no procreation that comes out of homosexuality, so let's keep it shit real. All right? Don't be telling these half-truths, man. They do it on the low because they know it's wrong. You don't do something on the low because you know it's right. You do something on the low because you know it's wrong, nigga. If you know in your heart of heart it's the right thing to do, you don't have to do it on the low. If you're doing it on the low, it's because you're trying to hide it from people because, goddammit, you ain't supposed to be doing it. Mainly because you got a fucking family. All right? And if you don't have a family and you're doing it on the low, then you just are embarrassed in your own shit. You're embarrassed in you. Okay? You're embarrassed in yourself. That's self-hate right there. And a lot of transgender people don't want to talk about it. You don't like the fact that you are attracted to the same sex because you know it ain't no. That's what it really is. That's what it is. You don't do something on the, like if you're going to go steal, you do it on the low, nigga. If you're going to rob somebody, you do it on the low, you wear a mask. Nigga, you don't just have your face out and rob niggas. You feel me? You do it on the low. You do it so you don't get caught. All right? You want to rob a bank, you hide your identity. If you get away, you lay low. You lay low because you don't want nobody to find out because you know you did something wrong. So let's talk about why they do it on the low. Don't just say, well, there's a lot of people who do it on the low and then try to tie that in because of the fact that we homophobic. Yeah, that's bullshit, bro. That is bullshit. That's bullshit. We just passed laws nationally that allow LGBT people to marry each other and all that. You feel me? And shit. Even back in the 70s, man, LGBT community, they had bars. They had bars, they had clubs, so they're not being discriminated against to where they can't have their own bars and their own clubs. Stonewall riots, didn't happen because of, you know, the police being homophobic. Stonewall riots happened. There was a racial incident, and they finessed that to turn it into an LGBT incident. That had to do with race. That had to do with fucking sexual preference. And the reason why the police was even there in the first place was because the Stonewall Club, right? The Stonewall Club, they were selling liquor without liquor license. They couldn't get the liquor license because all the unscrupulous activity that was happening in the club. All right, there's prostitution happening in that club. All right, first off, that club was owned by fucking mafia. Okay, let's keep that shit real. That shit was owned by the mafia. Everybody knows this. This has been documented. The shit was owned by the mafia. Prostitution was going on in that club. Drug usage and drug dealing was going on in that club as well. Ain't nobody gonna give Ain't nobody gonna give these people no fucking liquor license after all this shit is going down in the club. And then even inside the club, they had sections to where only black people were allowed in that section of the club. It was segregated in the club. All right. Just want to talk about doing something on the low. Yeah, nigga, because you know you're doing something wrong. And like I said, the LGBT community practices anti-black racism.
It's a radical time we're living in. But I love y'all for taking the time and having the thoughtfulness to say, yo, we know Malik. You guys know me for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's no dirt on my name. You know my vibration. You know frequency that I vibrate at. Ultimately, the love is going to win.
Talking to Malik Yoba about his post supporting transgender rights and situations. Were you amazed at the backlash?
I didn't expect it to solely be focused on trans attraction. And what does that even mean? I knew it was important to shake the tree, as it were, and make some noise. I did not anticipate the fallout on my children, quite frankly, or my family, my siblings. But it happened.
Oh, wow, nigga. You had a family, bro. You had a family. See, he said, oh, wow, wow. See, this is that shit I'm talking about. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. He had a family. He had a family. He has a family. You know, the family's still gonna be family even though they don't get along. But he has a family. He has a family. He said he didn't expect the fallout of his family. How do you not expect the fallout of your family, nigga? You had to been doing it on the low. All right, let me go back.
You know, this is a radical time we're living in. But I love y'all for taking the time and having the thoughtfulness to say, yo, we know Malik. You guys know me for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's no dirt on my name. You know my vibration. You know frequency that I vibrate at. Ultimately, the love is going to win.
Talking to Malik Yoba about his post supporting transgender rights and situations. Were you amazed at the backlash?
I didn't expect it to solely be focused on trans attraction. And what does that even mean? I knew it was important to shake the tree, as it were, and make some noise. I did not anticipate the fallout on my children, quite frankly, or my family, my siblings. But it happened. I take responsibility for that faux pas. But, like, what is that about? That's not about humanity.
What's up, Malik? This is JR here.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Now, he talked about how he been doing this work in the transgender community all this time. If you've been doing all this work in the transgender community, then how do you have a fallout with your family? Shouldn't they know before, like, shouldn't your wife have known that you was doing all this work in the transgender community? It shouldn't be a big surprise to your wife or ex-wife or whatever. I don't know your family situation. You know, I'm not trying to get up in your business like that, but you just put it out there that you had a fallout with your kids, your family, your siblings. And if they knew you was doing work in the transgender community back then, I'm sure they wouldn't have been surprised to hear you come out and say, well, I'm attracted to transgender women. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right there, he's just being dishonest. He didn't expect the fallout. Yeah, he did. Because he was doing the shit on the low. And niggas know. Niggas know. Niggas know. Niggas knew it back then. They just didn't speak on it. Because, back then, when it comes to business in the streets, that's off limits. You don't talk about other people's business like that if they didn't put it out there. You feel me? But now he putting this shit out there right now. So that's why we can talk about it. But, no, everybody knew back then he was on some fuck shit back then. On the low. On the low. All right? And this is how he can speak on it, because he's speaking from experience. Talking about people who do it on the low because of the backlash that they would receive. You feel me? You can't have whole families and be doing that shit on the low. Talk about what they just don't understand. Nigga, no. You don't understand. You don't understand. Obviously. You can't have families and do that and expect your family to ride with you. Because you lied. That's why they don't fuck with you. Because you were being deceptive. You feel me? They don't even know you. It's like they don't even know you. You had a whole other life. And now they had to find out in this manner. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how you can come out the way that you came out. You kind of semi came out the closet, even though you came out the closet, my man. You came out the closet, but you still got one. You still got one foot up in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Still got the foot in there. Talking about I'm attracted. No. You're not just attracted to transgender women. You have been fucking men who dress like women. All right? Say what you mean. Don't come out with all this bullshit euphemistic language. I have a big pet peeve about euphemistic language and talking around subjects. No, say the truth. Say, I had a family, but I still wanted to fuck men that dress like women. I don't like men when they dress like men. I get more turned on when men dress like women. And I like to fuck those people. I like to fuck those men. You know what I'm saying? Say the truth. Say what you mean. Don't be on no, I'm attracted to transgender women. Nigga, that's not a woman. That's a man pretending to be one. That's my daughter right there. Mia, bajo las escaleras. Come here. Ven aquí. That's my daughter, y'all. Shh. You don't have to cry every time you wake up now, okay? All right, calm down. Cállate. Hey, you don't gotta cry every time you wake up. Be quiet. I'm doing something down here. Come on. Big cry, baby. You okay? Say, I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. I'm doing something. So don't be crying like that, okay? Daddy doing something. All right.
You said that people can say whatever they like, and you're also learning what it means to be trans attracted. What will you say to folks who would now question your identity or even label you as just being gay?
I don't live for other people's label. People say what they want all day long. Short answer is I'm not gay. I'm not attracted to men. That's first and foremost. And for the record, trans women do not date gay men 99% of the time. I say I'm heterosexual.
What? That don't make no fucking sense. Look, hold on. What? Let me run it back and make sure I didn't hear what he said. That shit don't make no goddamn sense. Let me run it back before I address these points.
You as just being gay.
I don't live for other people's labels. People say what they want all day long. Short answer is I'm not gay. I'm not attracted to men. That's first and foremost. And for the record, trans women do not date gay men 99% of the time. I say I'm hetero.
Nigga, what? Where the fuck did you get this from? What book did you get this from, man? See, this is what I'm talking about. Where's the manual that says this shit? Nigga, please. If you're transgender, if you're a man who dresses like a woman, you're still a man, my nigga. You're still a fucking man. Okay? You're still a man. There's nothing that's going to change that. If I was born without limbs, nigga, let's just say I was born without 2 arms. If I was born without 2 arms, I can imagine all day that I have arms. Okay? I can imagine all day that I have arms. Matter of fact, I can take 2 lampposts and shove them up my limbs and make it look like I got 2 pegs coming out my shit like arms. But that ain't gonna change the fact that I was born without arms and I don't got no fucking arms. That ain't gonna change the fact that I'm armless. All right? So I can imagine that I have arms all the fucking day. But that's not going to change the reality of that. I can imagine that I'm fucking white. That's not going to that's not going to be a reality. If I imagine that I was white and a cop pulled me over, guess what? He gonna shoot my black ass. He gonna shoot my black ass. Okay? Period. You feel me? That shit does not work for race, so how can it work for gender? It don't. Okay? You are gay. You may not want to accept it, and this is why we have to have these conversations with you gay niggas. Because you don't like to accept who you are. Because you know that what you are is wrong. It should be no problem to accept the fact that you like fucking men if you really like men. I don't understand it. If you like men, you like fucking men. You can't sit there and say, I like transgender women when the woman has a dick and fucking you in the ass. Because women can't fuck nothing in the ass. Women have vaginas. This is sex education 101. That doesn't make any sense. Transgenders have to date men who are gay. Or they have to trick men into believing that they're actually women. And we all know how that ends. And that's wrong. That's wrong. Heterosexual men don't fuck with transgender women or men that dress like women. Heterosexuals don't fuck transgender men. Don't fuck transgender nothing. Okay? I can understand if the nigga said transgender men who dress like women want to fuck other women. You feel me? I can understand that. That would mean that that they're not gay. You feel me? Because they're still fucking with women. They're still fucking with the opposite sex, even though they look like the opposite sex. You feel me? But your anatomy doesn't change. Okay? Your anatomy does not change. You can't change your anatomy. Okay? So these niggas is, man, delusional. Delusional. And this is why your family ain't fucking with you. Because you're delusional. Oh my God.
I love women. And I love women.
We're talking to Malik Yoba about his truth, his side his authentic side of the story, what he's involved with in regards to the trans community. And the march coming up September 27th and 28th in Washington, D.C., the Transgendered March on Washington. You mentioned in that last block that you said someone was creating a rumor or an allegation about you. Was posted on Facebook that basically said you paid for transgendered prostitution, and not only that, but while this individual was a teenager at 13 and 16.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, even though, here's the thing, the game, right? So talking to my PR folks, and they said, don't use the word unfortunate, because it sounds like you're defending. But I have love for that person. I don't know that person, but I have love for that person, because here's an anecdote. As an actor, I don't do roles where I harm women or children as a rule, because the real work of an actor is to be, right? So you have to find a dark place to hurt people, right? And so I don't do that, because that's not an emotional place, a psychic place, an energetic place that I want to play from. And so I choose not to play those type of roles on purpose. And that anecdote for me just sort of hopefully can shine a little light on like my level of humanity, even through my work as an artist. And so, and even to be able to say I have love for this person, because, you know, hey, that's a bold move. To put a lie like that out there, to say, and that's serious, to say that me, who has a lifetime of service to humanity, is engaged in that kind of illicit behavior. You don't have black men in the world talking like this. Who? Where? Me. And so I said it is time for me to stand in a different space. The president says you don't matter. Why is that okay? That is not okay. Because transgender people, in my experience with them, both trans men and trans women, have a very special perspective that the world could benefit from. And a lot of times we're dealing with transgender people who don't even know it. I cannot tell you.
You're just going to say that without fucking saying the perspective? I'm waiting to hear what this perspective is, too. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? I'm waiting to hear this fucking grand perspective.
Put up into my DM from around the world. Around the world. People who have dated trans people, been disowned by their families. People who have been killed. That's what this is about. So, September 27th, I'm actually doing the workshop with Carmen Carrera for Love.
All right. Okay. So that's that. So you heard it. You've heard it. All right. Let me come back to my screen, man. Do you see what I mean? These people are nuts, man. These people are crazy. All right? And I'm not afraid to say it. I speak how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I just like to make sense. I like to keep shit the way it is. I don't like to change nothing around. I don't like euphemistic language. I like motherfuckers saying what the fuck they mean. Exactly what the fuck they mean. So I don't have to decodify what the fuck they're trying to say. Okay? You're not attracted to transgender women. You fuck men who dress like women. Nigga. And you've been doing it on the low. You're too scared to say so. You were too scared to say so. That's why your family didn't know. And when they found out about it, you know what I'm saying? They basically like, man, what the fuck? You dig? They like, man, I can't believe this nigga here. You feel me? So you had a fallout with your family. You dig? I don't mean to speak out on your family like that, but you did admit it and you put that information out there. So I'm just reporting it as you said it, nigga. And I'm explaining the why. This is the why, my nigga. After all you said, this is exactly what you were trying to say. You do this shit on the low. You knew how motherfuckers would react to it. You knew how your wife was going to react to it. You knew how your children were going to react to it if they knew. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have had children if you was fucking thinking about fucking other men. All right? There's no perspective or anything positive or beneficial that can help black families from you engaging in homosexuality, because it is a selfish act. It's a lustful act. It has nothing to do with spirituality, growth, anything. You don't have no spiritual systems to back up what the fuck you are doing, even though you try to mask it behind some spirituality. So I'm done with it. All right, I'm done with it. It's the last time I speak on this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With Malik Yoba. You feel me? I'm just gonna let it be what it be. If you feel any different, please offer your opinion. Offer something that's going to rebut against what I said. You know what I'm saying? What is your counter to what I'm saying? Don't just come up in here and comment some bullshit. Offer a counter perspective, addressing the points that I made. If you can't offer a counter perspective addressing the points that I made and attack those points, then you're trolling, okay? So as a reminder to you fucking LGBT community people who be always ear hustling on my shit and then getting mad because you hear something that you don't like and then you want to come up in my fucking comments trolling, all right? Why don't you actually listen to what the fuck I'm saying, write it down, come up with a counter argument, and then put it in the comment section, all right? Okay? Because if I catch you niggas trolling, I'm just gonna block you niggas, man. I'm tired of seeing y'all trolling. I'm gonna just block you niggas, all right? I'm tired of y'all trolling, man. I'm looking for real dialogue. Y'all niggas don't want no dialogue. Y'all say y'all want dialogue, but you don't show it, all right? So anyway, yeah, Rakaya said, shut that shit up. You feel me? Anyway, though. But I'm out. You about to eat some lunch, huh? You gonna eat some lunch? You want some food? So we gonna get some food. Yeah, let's go get some food. All right, then. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. If you like this video, smash the like button, man. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button. I will be posting this on my YouTube. You feel me? I will be doing more of these videos live on YouTube. You dig? So we can really get it popping. And yeah, man, I appreciate those who came in and checked out the video, man. All right, I'ma holla at you. It's your boy 100, man. About to get some food. All right, say bye. Bye. Come on, tell the camera bye. Bye. Good job. She's so cute, man. All right, y'all. I'ma holla. Peace.